Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you're new then hi, my name's Caitlin and today it's a bit of a sad day. Not for me. It's really not. It's not a sad day for me. It may be a sad day for you guys. This is the final update for my Pan That palette. This is the Soph X Revolution palette, the original one, and this is it. This is it now. I'm done. So I have been working on this palette for 6 months. This is the 6th update, and I'm not gonna lie to you, this update, it's not the most exciting update because this month is when I finally just decided I don't want to work on this palette anymore. It's not, I just learned that Pan That palette isn't for me this month, and that's okay. I've worked on this for 6 months. It's had a long run. But before we get into the update and more of my thoughts, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe because it would mean the world to me. And yeah, let's just get into it. Before I show you the progress that we've made, I'll do a slideshow of all the different months and all the different pictures, progress pictures that we've had during this project. So I'm going to budge up this way. My eye is leaking so bad. I don't know why. I don't know what's wrong with it, but my eyes are burning. Anyway, I will put last month up here and I will reveal the final update for this project. Here we go. As you can see, there is not much difference. The biggest difference is we've hit side pan on pancakes, which is here, which is a great achievement. We've really made quite a lengthy pan in rosewood here, but other than that, I really don't think we've done much, and that's okay. That's fine, that's okay. So yeah, before we kind of get into the uses, how many times I've used each shade, I just want to say, like, thank you for supporting me in this project. It's a project that I wanted to try at least, and I have tried it, and for the first few months I loved it. I'd say for the first like 4 months I adored this project. This was just such an amazing project for me. Just seeing all the different pans coming up and challenging myself with different shades. I really loved it, but then I have near 40 palettes in my collection and I've been working on this for months, and primarily this for months, and I just got really upset that I was focusing so much on this and everything else just was not being used. I had tried my very best to keep this project going. I started to pan those eyeshadows to try and get use out of some other shades. I started a project 10 uses to also try and get use out of some different things, but it didn't work. This past month I really haven't used this palette much. I'll obviously go through the uses with you like I always do, but I haven't used it as much as I have before, and honestly I've been so much more happy with my eyeshadow and playing with eyeshadow and feeling not just confined to just this eyeshadow palette. But yeah, that's why I'm ending the project early. I've had so much fun with this. I think 6 months, as I said, is a good long run. But yeah, let's just get into the usage and how many times we use each shade and what I think about it. I'm gonna go this side. A, because I can see myself in the monitor and I can see if I go out frame. And B, I don't want you seeing my shiny tears that's coming out of my eye. I don't know why my eye's so irritated today, but oh my, they sting so bad. I just want to sit here with my eyes closed for a minute. Alright, so here is the palette. I'm so happy that we've got so many pans. This palette has helped my pan percentage so much. But yeah, let's go on with it. Okay, so Penguin, which is the white shade here. We have not used this month at all. We have not used it. So it's still at 51 uses. The pan is actually very, very thin on this because I used it as like a brightening shade for quite a long time. So yeah, there is a thin pan in this. I think if I wanted to completely use it up, I don't think it would take too long. But yeah, that's just that. This shade, this was the shade that I was focusing on. This was the shade I was like, I'm not ending this project until I hit side pan or like bottom pan on pancakes, and that is what I did. I finally hit bottom pan on pancakes. This shade was used 11 times this month for a total of 51 uses overall. I think 51 uses is amazing. I have rolled in a base kind of cream setting shade into my Project 10 pan. So some of you may have known that this was coming because I'm starting to roll in more eyeshadows in more projects. I also did give a bit of a hint in my Shop My Stash. Who knows? Who knows if you caught on or not? Fairy Lights we used 5 times this month, and that was for a total of 47 times in the project. We have hit side pan up here. We hit that we hit that last month, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it's just a champagne, whitey champagne, very easy in a corner shade. Pink Champagne we used twice this month for a total of 36 times in the project as a whole. Didn't really like this shade. I'm not a pink person. I know look, I've had 2 pinks roll into my pan those eyeshadows, okay? I've had to struggle so bad with pink. This is just one less pink that I have to worry about now. I'm happy about that, okay? Okay. Iced Coffee we only used once this month for a total of 38 times. I use this as a setting shade when I'm using more warm tones. So I did a look with this shade, and then I would just kind of use it to blend it a little bit more. That's the only reason I use it. This shade is Cup of Tea. We used this twice for a total of 30 times in the project. The pan is pretty big. To be honest, the look that I love with this palette is this in the crease, this shade down here, blend it out with Cup of Tea, and then put Sparks Fly all over the lid, and it is a beautiful, just beautiful look. I'll probably do that more, even though I'm not actively working on this palette. I will probably do that more because I did really enjoy that look. Something that I forgot to say as well, just because I'm ending the Pan That palette doesn't mean that I'm never going to work on it again. I would like to put maybe smoky bronze into maybe a project pan just to hit pan on it. I'd like to get pan on these. Eventually I would like to get pan in every shade, but it's just this project as a whole is ending. Doesn't mean that I'm going to be abandoning this. You will probably see this in other projects in the future, but yeah, that's just something I wanted to clear up as well. Grow Old, I used this once for a total of 13 times. As you can see, lovely pan. We hit pan quite a while ago. Sparks Fly I used twice for a total of 20 times. Smoky Bronze I have not used for a total of 1 time in the whole project, which is quite embarrassing. I'm not gonna lie, that's very embarrassing. But there's like 3 gold shades that I've had to pan. Give me a break. Give me a break. Once I hit pan on these 2, I was so done with gold that I didn't really want to tackle this. But as I said, this will probably be in a rolling 10 pan or something along them lines. I am starting a new project in October, a Fantastic Ladies collab. I'm very, very excited for that, so stay tuned for that. It may make an appearance in there, who knows? You didn't hear it from me. But next shade, this is Mixed Berries. This was the shade giving me most grief. As you can see, it's got a fairly decent dent in it. I think if I really worked on this in future, I could definitely hit pan on it. But this shade, I think that this shade is the least favourite shade that I like to wear on my eyes. Out of all the colours of the rainbow, this very warm tone purple shimmer, not doing it. I don't like it. That is my least favourite shade ever to put on my eyes. So it's really, it's made me struggle a bit. We didn't use it this month because I barely use this palette this month. We didn't use it this month, but we have used it 10 times in the project as a whole. And to be honest, I'm very proud of myself for that, because I didn't like it. And I don't want to hate pan. That's another thing. I don't want to hate pan. And I know that if I like forced myself to use this, I would be hate panning. Yeah, I'd rather hit pan on it just naturally, doing it when I want to use it. But anyway, tiramisu we finished up months ago, so whatever. Peaches, we did not use this month. Again, the pan is quite small because we did use this as a blush for most of the 6 months. So if I wanted to kind of finish that shade, I don't think it would be too much of an issue. We have used it a total of 32 times in the project as a whole, and that is pretty good for me. It's a really lovely shade. It's like a peachy pinky shade. I really, really like that shade. Pumpkin, this is a shade that we hit pan on last month. I used this twice this month. I've really, really been enjoying this and then my yellow in the Zulu palette in my Pan Those eyeshadows. Just like blended it out. Oh, that is beautiful, because this, it looks very orange, but it's almost like peachy orange. It's really nice, and especially when blended out with the yellow, it's real. So I'll probably use this more just on my own accord with that yellow. This was used 21 times in the project as a whole. Pine Tree, we have not used this shade. I was working on this shade for about 3 months in this project, so I'm leaving that as it is. I'm having a break from it. We're taking a break. Yeah, I do love this shade though. Like a smoky eye with like this on the lid is beautiful. I used it a total of 14 times in the project as a whole. Pug, I used this once this month for a total of 15 times. I keep saying I only used it 15 times, but I'd say about half, no, not half. Like a lot of it is gone. A lot of it is completed. Well, it's not very pigmented, so I have to use a lot when I use it. I think that's probably why it didn't take so many times to use. Danger is this beautiful red. I didn't use it this month, but I have used it 12 times in the project, which I'm happy with. 12 times is very good for me for a red. I remember I had just finished panning Red Bottoms from Colourpop, which is a very, very similar shade to this. So I put off using this for so long, but eventually I did hit pan, obviously, and I'm happy that I did. Last row, okay, the 2 disappointments. The 2 disappointments of my life, here we go. So Festive Flame, which is this guy, I did not use this month, shock horror. I used this a total of 2 times in the project. These 2 shades, I was working on these golds for so long, and then it was kind of time for these, and by the time I'd got around to thinking, right, let's do these, I'd lost interest in the palette. So that's why they haven't had that much use on them. Copper Coin I've used once this month for a total of 7 uses in this project. There is a tiny little dip, the tiniest dip, honestly, barely noticeable. But 7 times is pretty good, to be honest, for a shade that I'm kind of about. It's a very hard formula. There's 2 shimmer formulas in this palette, and this is the very hard one. One's like Pine Tree, and these 2 golds, they're quite soft and quite creamy, but this is just very hard and difficult to use. Mug Cakes we used 3 times this month, so that's quite good considering I barely touched this palette. And that is for a total of 32 times in the project, which is a pretty good number. But even better, Rosewood next to it, as you can see, this pan's expanded quite a lot. It's come all the way down, and that's because I use it in my brows. I've started using this as a brow powder every single day, and I've been really liking it for that. So I used this 17 times this month, which I think, yeah, that is the most times out of this whole palette. I really like this shade in my brows. So that means it has been used 61 times in total in this project, which is very good. Then Nightmare, which is the black, I used this 3 times this month, and that is for a total of 54 times in the project. So yeah, have a look at this palette. This is what it is ending like. So yeah, I am ending the Pan That palette, which is quite sad, but don't cry, because I am also doing a Project 10 Uses, a rolling Project 10 pan. I'm doing Pan Those eyeshadows, and I'm also joining a Fantastic Ladies collab in October as well. I'm thinking of starting a 101 pans on Instagram. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, it is caitlin.c_official. I'll put it here and I will also link it in the description because that is something that I'm really excited to do. Just 101 pans, eyeshadow pans on Instagram. So that's going to be really fun. Yeah, I'm excited for that. That will probably include all my Pan Those eyeshadows and whatever other eyeshadows I put in projects. But yeah, thank you for staying with me, for trying to encourage me to continue this project. I know many of you really enjoyed it, and for a long time I really enjoyed it too, but all good things must come to an end, and this is where I'm ending it. If I'd have carried on with this, I would have ended up absolutely hating this palette, and I don't want to hate the palette. I still really enjoy the palette, I still like the palette, and I'd rather end it now while I still like the palette than forcing myself to use it and ending up wanting to smash it. So that is it from me today. I hope you did enjoy it. Not the best update, I know, but there are many, many, many new things to come. I hope you stick around for them new things. It's all going to be so exciting. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.